This is a Japanese abacus. A Japanese abacus consists of two horizontal decks, a beam in between and a number of vertically rods. The number of rods can differ depending on the kind of abacus you use. This abacus, for example, has 11 rods. There are 5 beads on each rod, 4 on the lower deck and 1 on the upper deck. The lower beads have a value of 1 and the upper bead has a value of 5. The beam separates the upper deck from the lower deck. Beads which have been moved towards the beam have a value. Beads which have been moved away from the beam have no value. When using the abacus, we use the thumb to push the beads in the lower deck towards the beam and the index finger to push the beads away from the beam. In the upper deck, we only use the index finger to push the beads from and towards the beam. There are dots located on the beam. These dots are used as points of reference. I could, for instance, use this dot as a decimal point that makes this rod the unit rod. Bringing one lower bead towards the beam, it gives a value of 1. This is 2, 3, 4. All the lower beads from this rod have now been moved towards the beam. When I move the upper bead towards the beam and move the lower beads away, it gives the value of 5. I continue in this way, making the value of 6, 7, 8, 9. When all beads on this rod have been moved towards the beam, I use the rod to the left for continuing counting, in the same way as we do writing numbers. I move the beads away from the rod and move one lower bead on the left rod. This gives the value of 10, a 1 and a 0. Immediately the importance of the dots on the beam becomes clear, because the 0 of the unit rod cannot be distinguished from the other zeros. It will be obvious that the next rod to the left is signed hundreds and this one is thousands. If you want to know how to perform calculation using the abacus, watch my other YouTube videos.